right, so we have producer and lead actor.
Yeah, Christian Ackerman and Bert Emmett.
Hello.
Hello.
And such a great film, right? Edge of Your Seat. So it's such an original idea. But it's interesting, now that I've seen it this time, seeing it on a bigger screen, but I really clued into what's going on there at the end. There's something more. Is this the setup to a bigger piece?
Yeah, Troy Whitaker is the director, and he definitely wants to make it into a feature. I don't know if he has a script for it. Has he told you?
Well, he's only told me that he wants to
make
something bigger out of it, and this would kick it off. This would happen pretty much right at the start of the whole thing. But what happens after that, he hasn't told me. He doesn't trust me with that kind of information.
Well, and you were involved from the beginning, or?
Yeah, Troy. We've all known each other from the theater since for the past 8 years or so. I'm involved in it. They're actors. I'm kind of behind the scenes. I just help with video stuff.
This is at the Group Repertory Theater, the Lonnie Chapman on Burbank and Vineland up there.
North Hollywood, yeah. So Troy's kind of like the Doogie Howser of the theater. He started going to college when he was like 13 or 14, and blazed through the rest of his school. And so he's a writer-director, and so when he said, I was making a film with Eric Roberts, and I hired Troy to come in, and I was like, hey Troy, go, Eric Roberts needs to ride in for the next few days, so I sent Troy to go do it, and then he and Troy hit it off really well, and then Troy said, I have a script, and then Eric said, I want to read it, and
you would think
that's kind of how it went.
The worst thing you could do if you were driving a movie star would be to pitch your screenplay.
Yeah.
And he did it. And Eric Roberts said, yeah, man, that sounds great. Send it to him.
But he also could say, hey, you sit down in a chair and you talk on the phone, and that's it. That's all you got to do for me.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he liked about it.
And it's really compelling. I could see why he would have looked at it and said, I'll do that.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
And the two of you are like playing tennis. It's really great acting to watch two actors do that.
It was an interesting experience. When we shot all of his thing on one day, and then we shot all of ours on the next day. So I was on set for him, and I fed him all those lines.
That's great.
And then I think we had the audio, his actual audio, or was somebody else reading it too?
Oh yeah, we might have running through the headphones. Yeah, we did.
And so he was done, he was wrapped, but then the next day they just ran this stuff for me, and so we still connected the first day, but then in the second day we're still going through the filter of the phone itself.
Yeah, and that's actually exactly what your character would have experienced anyway. It was just the sound of his voice,
right.
No picture, no face.
And he reaches in and hooks him.
And I assume everyone who sees this would say it, but you have the voice for radio. I mean, your radio voice is ridiculously great voice.
Thank you. I actually used to spin classical music at a public radio station in northern Arizona. This is public radio for the room. Yeah. Coming up next, Shostakovich Symphony No. 2.
So he's like writing. But do we have anyone want to put a hand up and throw in at these gentlemen? Or we can just keep talking about it.
Well, I just wanted to say, I just thought it was so well done and entertaining, and I really enjoyed it. I think you're super captivating on camera, and really enjoyed all of it. You're the director?
No, I produced it.
Oh, you produced it, okay. Yeah,
so he had the hard part.
Very well done. Where did you shoot it? Because that was such a cool...
The radio station
section.
That was shot in North Hollywood near our theater. It's like a podcast. I think they do radio stuff there too. I don't know exactly, but it's in one of those buildings right there on Burbank.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. We didn't have to do anything to it. We just walked right in, and we even fed all. We even recorded all of our sound through the microphones because we didn't have to.
Awesome.
You didn't have to put lavs on anyone.
No.
I mean, everything is going. Yeah, I think that there's that quality to his voice the whole time he's on air, and he's never not on the air except when he's doing that comm link through through the window.
Mm-hmm.
and our comic relief who didn't want to come down.
This is actually Devin. He was not in the film.
Oh, I thought
he
you
looks
were
a
the-
lot like AJ.
Yeah.
He does.
look
Well,
like
also
AJ.
it's dark.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
quite.
I was
see
gonna
it.
pretend to be the director, but
But it is a cool little repertoire in there of you know 3 actors bouncing off each other, and they have a dynamic that you establish real fast.
Yeah, Troy. That was what he really wanted to play with. Was even if you read the script, he kind of wrote it like a play in a way that you see the dialogue overlapping, and so our editor Tommy Bernard, we just had him just really play with that and really cut it together as rapid fire as possible. Really have fun with it.
Great. Right, and there's a hand.
I was curious what your approach was to your performance in that, like, from the script, so much of it is clearly just you're listening to a voice, and rather than, like, you have a physical interaction with another human being, even if you're sitting with coffee with someone, like, you're reacting to their body language, and you're just listening to a voice, and the camera's on your face for so much of it. So how did you make the choices that you did to like convey the whole story just listening?
When Troy first asked me to look at this, he had me in mind for the part that Jay Christopher did. The 2 guys on the other side of the window. You got the wisecracking smartass, and then you've got the come on, let's get down to it. So he had me doing that one. And of course, as I'm reading the whole thing, I'm like, well, I want to play that announcer guy. and I don't know what happened that made him change his mind, but he let me do that. And I had read something that Gabriel Byrne had said about playing the psychoanalyst. What was that show? Gabriel Byrne was... It was...
In treatment.
In treatment.
Yeah. And he said, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I sit and listen all the time. I just have to sit there and listen. And that's his acting, was his listening. And so I actually just tried to do that. I tried to do that very thing and just let the thing come into my head and have it be whatever it was going to be. But the trouble he leads him through, I mean, that was a nice thing, because you know how these things are shot, and they're all sometimes not even in order, but this one mostly was. To go from the burnt out dude through, oh, this is good, to this is sounding a little dangerous, to holy crap, to yes, was something I had to be a little bit more deliberate about.
Yeah.
It was both challenging, but also it gives you an opportunity to do one of the most natural things we should know how to do anyway.
Last question, and then we'll have to get going.
Sure. In between takes, I think, did you learn anything new about yourself or about Eric Roberts? Were any of you surprised in any way about the result of what came from the film, or while you're working? Did any surprises come up? Sometimes they do, things you don't expect.
You mean about the discovery as an actor?
Yeah, discovery in your performance.
Or like a juicy tidbit about Eric?
Yeah, well, mostly about the performance, whether it's in your performance or his performance, because sometimes, and it's like I work on stage too, and I call it the magic of being on stage. Something usually happens that you did not expect. So were there any happy accidents that happened in the film, or any surprises, either from his performance or your performance or your other co-actors?
Well, that's interesting. I was a little intimidated to walk into the space with Eric Roberts being there, and but I decided, hey, he knows Troy. This is great. We go in, we're working like this, and then when he started shooting, got a little bit more serious. We were setting up for him. It was a little more serious. I'm wanting to be more careful with these lines that I was feeding him, and I thought the announcer's feeding that same way at a certain point, where he starts out burnt out. Who is this, Ben? You're not even picking up the phone. Come on, what's your problem? And then there's this point where maybe I should kind of watch out. I'm on fresh territory here. This could be a little dangerous because this guy's a loose cannon, or could be. So that, I think that was something that had occurred.
When it came to, I think making the film was a lot easier than just editing, because we spent a lot of time going through every single shot and frame, just making sure everything meant something, and all the sound. Our editor is really keen with sound too, so we all three of us kind of directed how the sound should be, because when you're going from room to room to room, and in headphones, or in his perspective, or in Eric's perspective, there's all four of those different all four of those different kinds of sounds that you need to be hearing, the quality of their voices, and then in editing and how I think that's where all the surprises for me came from. The fun of it was just watching the edit happen, and just finding those little moments. Just hold on for another couple frames, because every frame really counted. It was so tight of the film. So yeah, it is tight.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's 10 o'clock. A little
Okay.
after 10. Thank you so much for coming.